Hi, my name is Maridee, and this is Dr. Neil.
Hi.
And we are a part of a company called nsquared. And today we're coming to you from our headquarters in Sydney, Australia. And we're going to start a new series of videos about education and technology. And for today's first discussion, we're going to talk about collaboration. So, Dr. Neil, what role does collaboration play in education?
I think it's, certainly when you think about technology and collaboration, but overall collaboration in terms of how students interact with each other to collaborate to achieve goals, enables a rich human experience as part of their education. And that's something that typically we don't engage with technology for rich human-to-human experiences. And now we have some opportunities with new technologies that are emerging and that we're working with to really enhance that human-to-human reinforcement of learning that happens when you create collaborative activities. And in a typical kind of pre-technology environment, that would happen through maybe at a younger age group, through students working together on solving problems, or working together on solving a puzzle or creating something together, doing a painting together, those kind of collaboration activities. And then as the student progresses through their learning, different levels of collaboration. It may be a team, a small group of 2 or 3 people doing experiments together, whether it's physics or chemistry, or it may be building something together in a kind of design and technology type environment. And then as they do that, they reinforce their own knowledge, because what happens is they end up teaching each other how to do things. So you typically overhear conversations between students with well, how did you do that? And then the other one goes, oh well, it was pretty easy really, you just copied this here and do that there, and they teach each other. And so that collaborative experience is a very powerful one, because it enables the students themselves to take the role of educators of each other as they go through that learning.
That's great. So it's that teaching and the learning together that reinforce what you already know.
Right.
And another way that collaboration really works is the dynamic impact that it has when people build on each other.
Yes, and we see that a lot, that a collaborative learning experience enables the students to start building on each other's knowledge, and create this kind of, if you like, you can think of it as a scaffolding of steps where they each bring some of their knowledge, or their own knowledge, to the table. And as their knowledge sets don't 100% overlap, it's not just the union of their knowledge sets, but it gets bigger and bigger, because they start learning from each other as they go, oh yeah, I never thought about that, and then that brings this in, and then the other person sitting at the table may say, oh yeah, well based on that I think, and so it grows and grows that way. So what's interesting is that now, typically with technology, with computers, with software, it's been very solo, and we talk about the social network and the internet as a social engagement, but it's very solo still. It's one person at a machine, and you have this lower level of experience. But with some of the new technologies we're working on, we're definitely starting to see a much richer collaboration opportunity. So those two technologies, the big ones for collaboration, I think, are Microsoft Surface and Smart Table are doing some interesting stuff as well. So they have a much cheaper education table. It's not as high quality technology, there's no doubt about that, but it's a nice technology. So Smart Table and Surface, Microsoft Surface technologies, where the engagement happens around the table, and so it's much more social. They're facing each other. And the other one that's interesting that we're working a lot with is multipoint. So multipoint enables multiple mice plugged into a single PC. And this, of course, all the students are not facing each other, they're all facing the same screen, but they all have their own cursor to interact on activities. So they may all be painting something together, or they may all be solving a puzzle together on the same screen, each with their own cursor. So yeah, two very cool technologies that bring computers out of being solitary experiences into being social experiences to enable collaboration.
Right, right. And collaboration is just such a wonderful thing, because if you think of like a jam session with a band, each person builds on each other's knowledge, but also inspires creativity in each person that builds on each step. It's just such a wonderful way to learn.
Yeah, I think that's interesting actually. If you think about the jam session analogy, what's special about that is that each session is unique.
Mm-hmm.
Because each person brings something. So when typically you have one student on one computer working through a piece of software, it becomes a very staid, predictable type of engagement. They go through a set of steps, they accomplish some activities, they take a test, and yes, you can build some rich activities, and maybe we'll talk about that in another part of this series, but what you can't do is create the uniqueness that you get from human to human interaction, and the randomness in some regards that happens when multiple people engage in the same software.
Right.
And we see that. I mean, the example, the very simple example is our Surface Letters application, where the idea is the kids all have a bundle of letters, almost like fridge magnet type letters, and they move them around on the table and they can create words. But an unexpected outcome of that is that the kids can actually play games by flicking letters at each other, and so they can set up a little goal with their fingers and protect it and flick the letters back again. Now it's totally not intentional, but they're having fun in that space using something, and so you think about those kind of unique experiences that they'll get from the social engagement, the collaboration engagements on technology. That's something you really can't do any other way.
So there's definitely some solutions out there with technology for collaboration and education, and it's exciting to see these things grow.
Yeah. Looking forward to getting some of these things out there into real schools now, so it's cool.
Great. Well, thank you very much for your attention.
Thanks.
Have a great day.